Good morning. Thank you for bearing with me as I figure out the best way to record and get some of these wonderful stories to you. So, today's story is called Before John Was a Jazz Giant. And this story, let me get to the first title. It is the song of John Coltrane. It is by Carole Boston Weatherford, illustrated by Sean Qualls. All right, here we go. Jazz story. To Ron and Mommy with love, to the memory of great Uncle Tara, Coltrane's third grade teacher, and Aunt Tara, a jazz-loving librarian. To the memory of my father, Edward Jewel Qualls, with whom I shared a love of music, and as always, to Selena and Isaiah. Before John was a jazz giant. He heard hombones knocking in Grandma's pot, Daddy strumming the ukulele, and Mama cranking the phonograph. The phonograph is right there. It's another name for a record player, or what later became the record player. Before John was a jazz giant, he heard steam engines whistling past, Cousin Mary giggling at jitterbuggers, and Bojangles tap dancing in the picture show. Before John was a jazz giant, he heard Grandpa's Sunday sermons, Mama playing hymns for the senior choir, and the Scoutmaster's call to join a band. Before John was a jazz giant, he heard birds warbling at sunrise, the sobs of kinfolk at family funerals, and cheers as he marched in parades. What is warbling? Warbling. If you said singing, you were right. High five. Before John was a jazz giant, he heard big bands on the radio and a saxophone soulful solo, blue notes crooning his name. Before John was a jazz giant, he picked up that horn. Ooh, do you guys recognize what instrument that is? If you said saxophone, you are right. Blew into the mouthpiece, pressed his fingers on the keys, and breathed every sound he'd ever known into a bold, new song. Before John was a jazz giant, he was all ears. So at the back of the book, when we get back to school, or if you can find this book, there's some information from the author, and there's some ideas of things to listen to. If you ask your parents' permission, you guys can listen to this together. Remember, John learned a lot of what he eventually used just from listening. So Dizzy Gillespie, Diggy Days, and Thelonious Monk with John Coltrane. I will make sure to put these down in some comments and maybe add some links for you guys. I hope you enjoyed Before John Was a Jazz Giant. And Bruno and I will be back to read you guys another story or sing you another story at a later date. Have a good day, guys. Bye.